Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Let's quickly discuss Samantha Markle's interview with Nick Ferrari on LBC a few days ago. I am so fed up with the media. The headlines are shouting out that Nick reeled from Samantha's statements, that Samantha said the children do not exist, blah, blah, blah. Well, I finally got to watch the entire interview. And firstly, Nick Ferrari did not reel, was not shocked, did not desperately change the subject. No, just like with everything else they spoke about, he was doing his job and wanted to move the conversation along as it was coming to a close anyway. But even worse, Samantha did not say the children do not exist. I'll post a link to the complete interview in the description box below, but here is what she actually said for those of you who cannot be bothered to go watch. There was a lot of controversy about, oh, Samantha is saying, oh, the babies do not exist. No, this is not what I said. And fragments of my tweets over the years, not even real tweets, were photoshopped and mixed around to look like I was saying something like that. First of all, they were fragmented. There were no names mentioned in my tweets, and I was talking about Archie's birth because at the time, even my father said in one of his later interviews, he's only seen a little square of Archie's face. Nobody has seen those children, not my father. It was our understanding the royal family has not, and royal journalists, would have picked up on that like flies on flypaper, so to speak, or flies to honey, or bees to honey, because no one has seen the children full frontal, face on, and that should have been celebrated. The British people wanted to see that. The American people wanted to see that. The world would have joined together in celebrating these children, but nobody has seen them. So I think it logically follows that people think, well, where are they? And some people even wonder, do they really exist? Yes, they probably do, but we do not have a visible reference. At this point, Nick sort of did a little dance and became fidgety, but I think it was because Samantha kept talking and he could not get a word in and he needed to move the conversation along. In any event, he knew he was being photographed while she was not, and I think it is unprofessional and even rude in any event to gesture behind someone's back, but I still don't think it was for the reason the newspapers are spinning it. But anyway, let's finish what Sam said. Then Nick asks how upset her father is about not seeing the children, and Sam says, of course, her father is upset as a grandfather. And then finally, Nick asks Sam whether the negativity towards Megan has anything to do with her race. And basically, Sam said no. And Nick even had a good chuckle when Sam referred to the Fab Four and her sister being photographed with the wind in her hair. So please, now that you heard me repeating verbatim what Samantha said, where did journalists from mainstream media hear Sam say the children do not exist? She only said that there are people who may think they don't, but that she understands that because we just don't have a physical reference. In other reports, it has now come out that the lawyer representing Samantha in her defamation lawsuit against Megan had filed a motion to be allowed to step down as her attorney, stating that he and his client had irreconcilable differences and fundamental disagreements with regards to aspects of the case and the strategy moving forward. In his motion, Cale said Samantha had consented to his withdrawal. In a statement posted on Getter, Samantha stated, "He did not drop me as a client, and my official statement is that a conflict of interest existed, and I told him I did not feel that we could work together. So he withdrew as attorney of record. I initiated the separation. It is not a big deal. I'm having another attorney come on board. The suit is still taking place. So I guess we'll see what happens. It is obvious that Samantha will face an uphill battle, particularly with the press twisting her every word. But I do hope she sees this through. The only advice I would have for her is to stay away from the media until the case has run its course. But from Samantha to her father, Thomas Markle, yes, I saw and heard that Mr. Markle will be going to Britain for the Jubilee, fully sponsored and paid for by GB News. Of course, Thomas and Carl Larson had been hinting for such an opportunity or deal in almost every episode of their channel Remarkable Friendship. And now GB News took the bait. Well, I don't know how I feel about this. On the one hand, Mr. Markle has the right, just like anyone else from around the world, to travel to Britain and take part in the festivities. But him being sponsored by GB News obviously means that GB News will photograph Thomas Markle, have another interview with him in Britain, and obviously give him airtime. And of course, in an interview with Dan Wootton, Thomas also said that he would like to meet with Prince Charles. Well, in my opinion, Mr. Markle is now doing exactly what his daughter is so fond of doing. Remember, Doria was invited for Christmas. They are invited to the Oscars. The Queen invited them for cake on Meghan's birthday. Now, this is a common trick manipulators play to pressure people into doing what they want them to do. And indeed, by saying this publicly, I feel that perhaps this is what Mr. Thomas Markle is now doing. Charles is indeed Harry's father and Meghan's father-in-law. And now that the world knows that Thomas Markle wants to meet him, it may look rude and even cold if Charles does not meet with him. But then, on the other hand, if he does, it is very likely that Thomas Markle will be back in the hot seat with Dan Wootton and talk about it. Although I feel Thomas Markle has every right to travel and join in the Jubilee celebrations, and I even feel that he is entitled to meet his extended family by marriage. I just feel so sad that it is done this way when the entire Jubilee should be about one person and one person only, namely Her Majesty the Queen. I think it is so sad and in a way unfair that all these side hustles and side dramas are created to take the focus away from this remarkable woman and her reign. I honestly feel that if Thomas Markle had the love and respect for the Queen as he professes to have, he would have kept this under wraps and done it differently. Yes, if finances were an issue, then let GB News sponsor him, but on condition that he will give them an exclusive interview afterwards. And I also feel that he should not have announced it beforehand. You know, in a way, it reminds me of Where is Waldo? Will we be playing Where is Thomas during the Jubilee? Hopefully not. Hopefully, all eyes will be on the Queen, whether in the flesh or on a screen or whatever activities will be dished up for us at the time. Anyway, guys, before I run off, did you hear about Princess Eugenie and her new podcast? It is called Floodlight, and she will be co hosting it with Julia de Boneville. But more about that in my next video. Anyway, guys, I'll be back as soon as possible with some more royal and other chats. And until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.